Welcome to the technologycloset.com and our quick shots. In this quick shot, we're going to take a look at Windows 8 Action Center. To get to the Action Center, open your desktop and select Control Panel. Open the Control Panel and select System and Security. In the System Security screen, the first item we see is Action Center. Click on Action Center. Now in the Action Center, we have two primary categories listed. One is labeled Security, and the other is labeled Maintenance. At the end of the line for Security, there's a down arrow or chevron. Click on it. Now what this gives us is a brief summary of the settings for security features in Windows 8. For example, Network Firewall tells us that it's on. Windows Update tells us that it's on. Virus Protection, Spyware Protection are both on. Internet Security Settings, OK. User Account Control is on. Windows Smart Screen is on. Network Access Protection is off. This is primarily for enterprise use or small office networks. And finally, Windows Activation says that Windows is activated. Why are these important? Because you want to make sure that they are as you see them here. This gives you the highest level of protection. If you don't see one that's on, you should go in and change it, and we'll be discussing how to do that. Let's close this security window, and let's go to the maintenance window. Windows tries to do and anticipate problems that may arise on your system, and it requires certain things be turned on and maintenance be done without you even having to worry about it, which is kind of nice. What do we have here? We have check for solutions and problems. It does it automatically. Of course, there's the famous privacy statement, which may or may not be legible and readable for most of us. Settings and view reliability. But the key here is right above that, it says on. So we know that checking for solutions and problems is on. That's good. We want that. Automatic maintenance is set up to start at a certain schedule. Gives the last time it was run and the change in settings. Home group. Home group is designed to allow you to join a home network group if you have network computers. As you can see, we do not. File history is off, primarily because I don't have a hard drive hooked up to this computer system. You should have an external hard drive hooked up to your system and then turn on file history. This is good for backing up all of your files and folders of all your data, and it will make multiple versions of each as you make changes. Unfortunately, over time, this could be quite a large endeavor requiring the use of a hard drive. Drive status. How's our hard drive look? How is it functioning? Does the computer see any problems? We have to have OK, or it'll give us an error condition and then give us information on what to look for. Finally, device software. It checks to make sure that the software required to run your computer and Windows is reporting back optimum usage. No action is needed. That's good. Let's take a look back up at maintenance, and let's look at the settings. Click on Settings. Choose when the check for solution problem reports. The default setting is automatically check for solutions. It's the recommended one. I would not change any of these. You can change the report settings for all users if you have more than one user on your system. You can select programs to exclude from reporting. Those would be software installations that have a particular high degree of stability that you know about. They will tell you, and you'll have a sort of a history on that as well. And then you can also read the error reporting statement online. Okay, I have not done that myself, and you can look at it at your leisure. Let's go back to maintenance. Take a look at the view reliability history. This shows us a graphical representation of all of the error conditions and other conditions that have come up during a particular time. Click on one. In this case, we have an X in a red circle, and it tells us what the event was and what happened. This is primarily a diagnostic display screen. It can give the power user or the technician more information if they need to do something with your computer system. Let's go back. On the left side, we can change Action Center settings. If we click on that item, we get messages that are turned on or off. We have security messages and we have maintenance messages. These are the default settings. If we don't want to be notified that our virus protection is up to date or not, you can remove the check mark and you will not be notified. You'll just assume that that's happening. Notifications are sometimes intrusive in what you're doing when you're working, and you may want to turn them off. I frankly like to have them on so that I know exactly what the system is seeing. At the very bottom, we have customer experience improvement settings, problem reporting settings, and Windows Update settings. Sometimes you'll see duplicate settings functions in multiple screens. This one is pretty important. They always want you to make sure you have your system up to date. Let's go back. Change user account control settings. This one can be annoying. This is when you start a program, the screen will dim, a box will come up on the screen asking for permission if you're the administrator, or if you're not the administrator, to put in the administrative password so that you can make a change. This is to prevent software that you download from making unauthorized changes that could affect the stability of your computer system. Let's click on it. You'll notice that it's on the 75% mark, if you will, on the graph. Notify me when apps make changes to my computer. This is the default setting. If we slide this slider down to the very bottom, we in effect turn it off. Not a good idea. You can have software make changes on your computer and you not be aware of it, and that could be nasty. Slide it up to the next one. It's a little more less intrusive, if you will. Again, not recommended. You'll notice that the slider bars on the side, there are two darkened ones here. That is really the recommended setting. However, if we move the slider all the way to the top, I guarantee you're going to get that dimming of the screen and the pop-up box quite a bit, because it's going to say, I don't trust anything. I'm going to let you know. You make decisions. Put it back or leave it at the default setting. We'll click OK. Now you can see there's an example of it. See how the screen dimmed? We have the user account control box. It's asking us to accept the control change. We can also check the chevron, and it will give us any changes, in this case telling us that it's the account control settings that are making changes. We click yes. Change Windows Smart Screen. Smart Screen, when you click on it, gives you the ability to get administrator approval when you download an application. If the application in a database sitting on Microsoft server in the cloud deems that the software may be questionable and wants you to do something about it, you can also turn it off. I recommend for most users not to turn it off. Leave it at the default. Get administrator approval. We'll cancel that. We can look at viewed archived messages. Not very informative to the average user. View performance information. If you click that, it will take you to the ratings of your computer systems where you can make changes if you need to. For example, changing visual effects, adjusting index options, power settings, disk cleanup, advanced tools. These are things that can allow you, as you get more familiar with Windows 8, to make improvements and actually speed things up in certain areas. Let's click back. Let's go. That's pretty much it, as I can see here, for our Action Center. I think that's going to conclude this quick shot. Please visit our website at thetechnologycloset.com. And while you're there, click the button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Until next time.